All right, good morning, agents. This is Kevin Lauren. I'm the Director of Training and Marketing, and today we're going to be going through some holiday marketing ideas. So holidays are a great time to re-engage with past clients, re-engage with your sphere of influence, and also just to drum up a little bit of interest. So before we get into today's topic, we're going to bring Bill Seitz, our corporate broker, on the line. Good morning, Bill. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Kevin. Yeah, I'm doing well, thank you. Good to be back on these. I know we had a couple weeks off. One with some, family issues, and then we had the holiday. So good to be back on, and hopefully we've got a nice attendance this morning.
Yeah, for sure, buddy. All right, great. And so today, I know that Debbie is out sick, so unfortunately she will not be joining us today, but I know that you do have something that you'd like to go over with us today, right, Bill?
Yeah, a couple things. Just want to, let's just pull up yep, there you go. You're ahead of me. As I just look at the financials this morning, I'll keep this quick and short. If you notice that number there, 4.305, we have actually dropped quite a bit, about 70 basis points on the 10-year treasury, which means mortgage rates have come down a fair bit. And the headline this morning is the 10-year treasury yield falls below 4.3. Well, it's 4.3 now, but it might have been 4.29 an hour ago. That's the way it works. But for the first time since September. So what that translates to is we actually have better interest rates than we had, since basically the end of summer. And we know this fall it was brutal. Rates basically got up touching 8% for regular conforming conventional loan. Even people with good credit, 20% down, you're looking in the mid to high sevens. So the fact that we're now trending downward, and we've trended down a fair bit, that's great news, and it's news to share with your clients and your buyers and people that have been sitting on the fence saying, I'm going to wait, or blah blah blah. I think now is a great time to re-engage those clients, because we do know rates are going to come down, and they may have even started that process now, and we may continue to see this happen through the springtime. But what's going to happen, and all the statistics say with the housing shortage, is that as rates come down, more and more people are going to jump back into the home buying process or into that marketplace, and it's going to be highly competitive, as we know. So if we can get our clients into homes now, while this is in a transitionary time, they can always refinance down the road and have less competition now than they will down the road, making a transaction more successful and more probable for you as their agent. So I think now is a great time to, we always talk about this, Kevin, is reaching out to your clients, reaching out to people that and let them know that the rates have come down. Show them this headline, or become the expert for them in this area.
Yeah, and so it's all about being a squeaky wheel, as a realtor. So this is just a great piece of information to bring to your clients and let them know. Your clients don't follow rates like we do, probably not. Some of them maybe, but this is really key information. If Bill didn't tell me that rates had come down, I probably wouldn't have noticed. So really good point, Bill.
Yeah, and that's just reminders that we want to do every Wednesday. That's part of what we the goal is to give you guys reasons to contact your agents and to help you with that. And if you're sometimes struggling with different things to talk about, I know we're going to get into some nice holiday marketing stuff here in a few minutes, but it's just that constant hitting our clients in multiple areas, and relevant functional ways to help them, and for you to just look like the all-star.
For sure.
So switching gears, I don't want to spend, Debbie was going to come on. She's under the weather this morning, so feel bad for Debbie, but that's okay. We can kind of pick up next week. We're also going to have DJ Bibb on with Fidelity National Title next week. He's going to have a nice presentation for us, but Debbie was going to go through some good tips, and they're tips for everybody, not just home buyers, about credit, and some important topics about credit. And so since we all have credit scores, we all use credit. That's going to be a good little piece from her next week. We were going to do it this morning, but like I said, she's under the weather. So we will postpone that till next Wednesday. But I want to switch gears here quickly. Actually, this is not going to be super quick, but a lot of us, before Kevin gets into the meat and potatoes here, a lot of us have heard, I imagine most of us have heard about the class action lawsuit that occurred last month, I think it was. It's been a whirlwind here last few weeks, but might have been over a month now. But a lot of agents have reached out to me and said, hey, what do you think about this? And I didn't want to jump into an opinion right away because information was still coming out, and information is still coming out, and the ripple effect of this. And so I'm just going to spend a few minutes reviewing this. Some of you may or may not have heard. So I'm going to assume that some of us have not. And I kind of just was pulling through some information this morning. I found this pretty good Axios article that Kevin's pulled up here. And I'm just going to run through just the highlights of it and explain kind of what's happened and what the potential impacts are for the real estate industry. Basically what happened was there was a class action lawsuit filed against NAR, National Association of Realtors, and some of the major big box brands like Remax and I believe Century 21 and some of these other, Keller Williams. They got pulled into this massive lawsuit. And so basically what happened is, NAR and Home Services America, Keller Williams, the jury found them basically liable for $1.78 billion in damages of more than 260,000 homes that were sold in Missouri, Kansas, and Illinois. And that was basically the plaintiffs were saying that these brokerages and NAR, by, basically having the seller pay the buyer's agent's commission, were inflating home prices and, causing sellers to have to pay those fees. Well, NAR has in the policies, they have a clear cooperation rule, right? And so meaning that, we're cooperating with other brokerages and other, buyer's agents through the commission process. And so the heart of the lawsuit is the fees paid by the home sellers to brokers for executing the transactions and providing other services were basically forced into the listing price of the home. Well, I think we all can agree there's a huge function that buyer's agents do, in the process. And while buyers do have access to a ton of information now through Zillow and Redfin, and a lot of their home buying process or search does start on their own online through the different, mega, conglomerates of information and real estate, data that's out there. Buyer's agents do provide a huge service in my opinion. And, it's actually kind of sad that, this has happened, and there might be a massive ripple effect in the coming months or years, but it is what it is. And so, so it says, catch up fast. At the heart of the lawsuit is broker commissions or fees paid by home sellers for executing the transactions, like scheduled property showings, which are generally factored into the listing price of the home. Specifically at issue is the seller's fee payments to buyer's realtor, which are part governed by NAR's clear cooperation rule. The rule requires sellers to include a fee offer to the buyer's agent when listing a home. The fee offer is visible to the buyer's agent, but prospective buyer usually do not get access to them. Real estate agents generally must become members of NAR, one of the largest trade associations in the United States, to gain access to most local real estate databases. The rule, they argued, requires sellers to pay inflated commissions at closing, potentially by tens of billions of dollars annually. Americans paid over 85 billion in residential real estate commissions in 2020, according to the Department of Justice, which previously investigated the NAR for violations of antitrust laws. As the news broke, the jury, as the jury's decision broke, the real estate stocks dropped, blah, blah, blah. Zillow's shares dropped by 7%. Open Door fell by 9%. This lawsuit was originally filed in 2019, it says, and Remax and Anywhere Realty were the defendants, blah, blah, blah. But, as I kind of have read through this, I've talked to some people in the industry. It looks like there's going to be some appeals, and this is probably going to get clogged up into the court system for a while. I don't think there's any clear cut black and white resolution to this. While it is scary, and it's potentially going to change the way we do business, I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow or next week, or it might even take years to have this challenged and pushed up through the process of appeals. But it's something that we're going to keep an eye on as a brokerage, of course. And we're going to continue to update you on what best practices might be moving forward. And one of those things is using a buyer broker agreement. And there was actually we had sent out, or Kevin had sent out the links to, I don't know if anybody was able to get on it. I actually tried. I was like 5 minutes late to getting on, and I couldn't get into the meeting. I don't know if they had locked it out or whatever. But I was disappointed. I actually couldn't get in and listen to it. But Carr did put on a presentation. We did send out those links. I don't know if anybody was able to register and listen to what Carr was saying, because once again, for the moment, this is Missouri, Kansas, and Illinois. But you have to assume, if this is a class action lawsuit and this thing does go all the way through, it's only likely that this is going to come to California, where we do our business. So, Carr did do a presentation on it. They didn't push out a replay. They pushed out slides. And I noticed that they did talk a lot about the buyer broker agreement and how that will come into play potentially, instead of having the seller be on the hook for both commissions. So I think it's evolving. It's a fluid situation. I think that it's something that I'm going to be really closely monitoring, and also talking to other industry people and attorneys to see what their viewpoint is on it. So we'll just kind of keep this in limbo and stay tuned. And Kevin will just bring updates as we get them. I don't want anyone to panic or feel like the sky is falling right this second. I don't think that's the case, and I don't want to have a knee-jerk reaction. But it is something to definitely keep an eye on, as we move forward.
No, that's for sure, Bill. Well, thank you very much for that update. We do appreciate that.
Yeah, it's the fun part of the job.
Oh yeah, you know it. All right, perfect. Well, in that case, we are going to switch gears now and head into our the meat and potatoes of our presentation. And by the way, Ann Harris says that she was on it. She got to check that out, so that's great. Does my microphone sound okay to you, Bill?
Yeah, sounds perfect.
Okay, good. Ken said that there was a little issue there, but all right, sounding good. All right, perfect. So let me share my screen with you guys. I've got a new little screen share to share with you. So holiday season, great way, to, especially for agents that maybe got behind in some of their correspondence with their sphere of influence. Great way to get back in touch with everybody. It's a huge reason to reach out. We're always looking for reasons to be that squeaky wheel and to be that, the agent that's not the secret agent, the agent that's out there in the community representing yourself and your business. And so holiday is just a great time to get out there and do those things. So couple different ways to share to show your appreciation to your clients. Tons of different ways to do it. And of course, you just need to kind of, pick one or two things that kind of fit your style and then run with them. So it is literally customer appreciation season. So get out there, do whatever it takes to get in front of your customers. And so, obviously, who are you going to be targeting? This is going to be, past clients. Obviously, you can thank, past clients. Hey, thanks so much for your business this year. That's an easy one. Also, just people that have gone the extra mile to help grow your business. Great to, send out a social media post, highlighting perhaps some of your ancillary service providers like, Debbie at Clearview or Raquel at Legacy Escrow. So great way to just, get some information about there, give a shout out, and let people know that, you appreciate them, right? One great way to do it is a client appreciation event, have a holiday party, right? And so doing a little, a holiday party, at a local ice cream parlor, or really anything, pizza parlor, rent a bowling alley, whatever your budget, will allow. But having those little client appreciation events, you're just giving back. You're not expecting the person to do anything but come and, be appreciated. So those are just an easy way to do it. You can do things like that for very inexpensive. You can set up a celebration station, a hot chocolate bar, or a family photo booth. This time of year, especially if you do it early, people love to take their family photos. They love to send out their Christmas cards. So you can offer, a family photo booth with hot chocolate. That's an easy one. Another one is to host a house decorating contest. And so go around to the people in your sphere of influence, or especially in your target area, and let them know that you're doing a house decorating contest. You're going to be going around judging the different houses. By the way, here is your contact information, and perhaps a small holiday gift, which I'll get into in a second here. You can also start a donation station if you're a part of a charity. If you're not a part of a charity, you should become part of a charity at this time of year, and do something that benefits some kind of a group, a charitable group. So that's a really easy one. Throwing a housewarming party, or just sponsoring a fun outing. You could even organize a little bike ride, or there's just so many different ways to create a little buzz around the holidays. And so one great thing as you're going around to your farm and your area, a really great thing is a small token of appreciation. So in the past I've had realtors drop off a small plant or a cookie cutter for holiday cookies, or even a holiday cookie or two. So easy things like that can be very, very simple ways to give back to your farm, right? And who doesn't like receiving a little gift? Everybody loves it. You're not really expecting anything. You're just saying, hey, here's me, here's my card. If I can help you, great. But the reason I'm contacting you was just to give you this little present, right? And number 3, desserts for the holidays, same kind of thing. Some of you are really good, or you have a really, really special holiday treat that you like to create, like lemon bars or cupcakes, or whatever your holiday tradition is. Well, that is a great, extrapolate that and bring it out to your business, and make sure that the people in your farm get that appreciation, and they know that you're thinking about them. That takes you way above another realtor that's just sitting on their hands. So some realtors, they look at the holidays and they say, I'm not going to sell anything. I'm going to, take the month off, which, if you're making a ton of dough, maybe you can afford to do that. But I think this is the best time of year to double down and to really get in front of, the people in your farm. Especially, as Bill said, rates are coming down. Typically we know that holidays are tough times to sell properties. People, it's not the number one thing that they want to be thinking about. But winter in general, come January, February into March, those are actually good times for buyers, because there's, theoretically and historically, a little bit less competition during those months. So that's another good thing to just, let your sphere of influence know that, hey, there might be a good opportunity coming up, rates coming down. slightly less action on the market. Come spring, summer, of course, way more people are looking at buying and selling homes. So you could have a nice little window there where your clients, have a little bit better interest rates, and there's maybe a little bit less competition. So super, super cool there. Handwritten holiday cards. I'm always a huge fan of handwritten notes. They go really far. If I receive a handwritten note, it's not just an email. It's not just something that's mass produced. It took you a little bit of time to write that card out, put a stamp on it, and throw it in the mail. And so those handwritten holiday cards, those are really good, especially for your A clients. I know a lot of you will segregate your client list into A, B, and C, or A priority, or whatever you do. And those A priority clients, they definitely they deserve to receive that handwritten holiday card. And even the holiday card with a little appreciation in there, same thing. Send in a $5 gift card, a $5 Starbucks card, or one of your famous lemon bars, or whatever the heck you like to make. So combining a handwritten card with a small gift, that's an absolute winner. Especially if you're just consistently doing these things. It's a one-off, it's still a nice thing, but if you're providing these handwritten notes and these little gifts throughout the year, that is what really sets you apart from other realtors. So that's what number 7 here is all about, is taking this momentum and not just doing it for now, but taking that momentum and consider incorporating customer recognition and this kind of philosophy into your regular business year round. So that's a good way to stand out from the crowd. So a lot of different ways that you can separate yourself from other realtors. And so let me do another quick screen share with you guys. I did also do a quick Google search, and I found this nice little website that has a lot of different ways, and a lot of the things that I went over are on this little website, but I want to include this link when I send out the replay, because there are some cool adjacent kind of ideas to what we just talked about. So another one is, taking that kind of contest thing, going social, go do a social media contest, do maybe like a contest for kids, a coloring contest, anything to generate a little bit more buzz, a little bit more, excitement. Holiday open houses at your listings. So you could have, your listings this time of year, you could have, a holiday kind of a theme. You can do, same thing. You can sponsor photos with Santa and gingerbread decorating parties, all that kind of stuff. Holiday swag, mistletoe, holiday wrapping kit, movie tickets, jars of hot chocolate. All these things are they're festive, they're fun. This time of year is a really good time of year to just, put out the joy, and, you're not really expecting to get a sale this time of year, like immediately, right? That's not really what this is about. This is about, getting that rapport and establishing that trust with your sphere of influence. So, you're not always out there with your hand out, looking for a deal. You're always, you're also out there and you're letting people know, hey, I like to give, and I'm giving stuff back, and I'm part of a charity. So 3 weeks ago, we had our Bash Cancer Fest. That's our charity that we support every year. And so we had a great turnout there. We had, I think we raised, I think we're up to $18,000. And so ARG and Legacy Escrow and Clearview Mortgage, always very, very excited to donate to that particular group. So, that's our charity, but what's your charity? What do you guys support? What do you guys believe in? So that's what I want to see you guys do this holiday season, is get out there, become part of a charity, start a charity, do whatever it takes. But those are the things that, this time of year you get noticed. You're not looking for a deal. You're just doing it out of the pure, goodness of your heart. And that really reflects in you as a realtor. So Bill, any quick takeaways that you've got for today's presentation?
Yeah, one thing, it falls in line with what that list. So many things to do, really. I mean, you just have to pick one that just fits you and your personality, right? So it's like, maybe you're not comfortable doing the the lemon bars or the holiday contest for who has the best decorated house. But maybe you want to do, and this is what a friend of mine does. He's a big realtor here in my community. He does a food drive. He reaches out to the community, provides bags with his information, his real estate information, and collects canned goods for homeless and for people who um, you know need basically can use meals and resources. And he does a very good job. He's been doing it for years, and like you said, Kevin, he's not he's not looking for a deal today, but he's doing something good for the community. He is it's a way to connect with the the homeowners of the neighborhood, and they see that he's doing a great service to the overall community, and he's getting recognition and awareness out of what his services are. And so it's an organic process. It's not a it's not a synthetic process. It's an organic process of doing something nice for the community. You're doing a service, but you're also getting your name out there, and it's a win-win. And so that one, I do like that one, because that one is a clear, it's very direct and it's very beneficial to the end result, right? um and I mean some of those other ones were great too. I mean, you went through a ton of those. What was the other one I liked? The handwritten note is amazing. Not many people are going to take the time to do that. That separates you from a lot of people that are just going to mass produce, like you said, and just go the digital route. Um, we here at my family enjoy the Christmas cards. I mean, we get a lot of them from friends and people that we know, and I love to get those. They're really cool to see, who's doing what, and what's going on, and catching up with people. So, like you said, it's the best. I think it's the best time of year, personally, to make sure that you are top of mind, and that you are in your clients headspace as far as what your services are, what you do. And it's a fun time typically, because there's a lot of tradition, and a lot of whatever, however we celebrate the holidays. It's a great time just to be with these people that you are getting deals from, or referrals, or whatever. So if we're not taking advantage of it, we're really missing an opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. And so yeah, this time of year is just so key. And for a lot of agents, you might not be doing much business right this second. So it's also a great time to, do outbound marketing and to clean up your list and make sure that your list is, up to date. People that are no longer on the list need to be taken off. People that maybe haven't added, or you forgot to add, and they need to be added. So it's a good time of year for list maintenance too.
100%. So yeah, I think we've provided quite a long list of opportunities, and anything from the rates coming down to all these holiday ideas. I mean, there's a plenty of proactive things that we can do, and we've got time to do it. It's not quite December 1st, so it should be actionable here in very soon, if you haven't already started.
For sure. And of course, if you're part of the program too, call me up, make an appointment. Let's get some stuff down, and let's work on some specific stuff for you guys. All right.
Yeah, and just before we go, Kevin, I want to thank everybody who has utilized Raquel for their escrow needs. We've just gotten such incredible feedback from her performance, and how she really goes the extra mile. And I want to thank Daniel Moray. He's brought a couple escrows in this past month, and he's been he's a convinced customer. He has given such nice accolades to Raquel, and he had been using an escrow officer just out of habit forever, and decided to try Raquel. And he's like, wow, you really do go the extra mile. And so we just appreciate everyone who is giving her the opportunity to make you shine, make you look good, and treat your clients well, and continue to support that part of our business.
For sure. No, very, very, very glad that people are taking advantage of that. That's amazing.
Yeah. So next week, Kev, we'll have a nice presentation with DJ Bib on title, any other updates, and then we'll also go into a little bit of credit stuff, which I think is good for everyone to hear. And yeah, and Ann Harris, I'm going to call you in a second because I want to hear about the car, the car thing. If you have a few minutes to chat, so.
Perfect. All right, great. Well, thanks for that, Bill. And agents, thanks for coming on the Wednesday webinar this week. We look forward to seeing you guys on the Wednesday webinar next week. So get out there, make it a great week and a productive week, and we will see you guys all next week. Bye-bye.